Most people think they understand their cat. They know when it wants food, when it wants attention, and when it wants to be left alone. But if you've ever lived with a cat, you've probably noticed something strange. Sometimes it feels like your cat knows more than it should. And the truth is, your cat may be much smarter than you think. Fact 1. Your cat probably knows its name. Researchers have found that cats can recognize the sound of their own name even when it's spoken by someone unfamiliar. The reason many people think cats don't know their names is simple. They don't always respond. Unlike dogs, cats aren't naturally motivated to react every time they're called. Instead, they decide whether responding is worth their effort. Watch closely when you say your cat's name. You might notice an ear twitch, a quick glance, or a tail movement. Those small reactions often reveal that your cat heard you perfectly. It understood the message. It just chose not to participate. That's not confusion. It's a decision. Fact 2. Cats are incredibly good at learning routines. Have you ever noticed your cat showing up in the kitchen a few minutes before dinner? Or waiting by the door right before you get home? That's because cats constantly observe patterns. They pay attention to alarms, footsteps, lights turning on, and dozens of tiny details that humans barely notice. Over time, they connect those clues to future events. What seems like a lucky guess is often the result of careful observation. Your cat isn't checking the clock, but it doesn't need to. By studying your habits every day, it builds a surprisingly accurate picture of what happens next. Fact 3. Your cat remembers more than you realize. Many people assume cats live entirely in the moment, but research suggests they can form long-lasting memories. Cats often remember people, places, and experiences for years. That's why a cat may immediately recognize an old friend who hasn't visited in a long time. It's also why negative experiences can leave lasting impressions. A cat that once got frightened in a certain room may remain cautious there long afterward. Memory helps cats make decisions about safety, comfort, and trust. Every interaction becomes part of a mental library that helps them understand their world and navigate it more effectively. Fact 4. Your cat spends a surprising amount of time studying you. While you're watching television, working, or simply walking around the house, your cat is paying attention. It learns which drawer contains treats, which sound means food is coming, and which behaviors signal that you're about to leave. Some cats even learn to predict human moods based on facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. That's why many cats seem to appear exactly when you need comfort or disappear when they sense chaos. They're constantly gathering information. To your cat, you are one of the most interesting and important things in its environment. Fact 5. Cats are better problem solvers than many people think. Give a cat a challenge involving food, and you'll often see impressive determination. Some learn how to open cabinets, push doors open, or retrieve treats from puzzle toys. What makes this interesting is that cats rarely solve these problems through random behavior alone. They observe, experiment, and remember successful strategies. If one method works, they're likely to use it again in the future. Over time, they become more efficient. Anyone who has watched a cat figure out how to reach something it wants knows how persistent they can be when a reward is waiting on the other side. Fact 6. Cats have developed a special way of communicating with humans. Adult cats rarely meow at one another, yet many cats talk to their owners every day. That's because they learned that vocal sounds are effective tools for getting human attention. Over time, some cats even develop unique meows for different situations. One sound might mean hunger, another might mean playtime, and another could simply be a greeting. Some owners can actually tell the difference. This ability to adjust communication depending on the audience is a sign of intelligence. Your cat isn't making random noises. It's using a language that works specifically on humans. Fact 7. Cats understand cause and effect remarkably well. They quickly learn that certain actions produce certain results. If scratching a door gets your attention, they'll remember. If jumping onto a counter leads to food, they'll remember that too. This understanding allows cats to shape their behavior around desired outcomes. Sometimes, it even leads to behavior that looks surprisingly calculated. A cat that repeatedly taps an object off a table may not be acting out of boredom alone. It may have learned that falling objects create interesting reactions. In many ways, cats are tiny scientists, constantly testing how the world responds to their actions. Fact 8. If you've ever felt manipulated by your cat, you might not be imagining it. Cats are excellent at figuring out what works on people. They learn which sounds make you get out of bed, which behaviors earn treats, and which expressions melt your resistance. Some cats become experts at waking their owners up early. Others discover that sitting quietly near a food bowl is more effective than meowing endlessly. Through observation and experience, they refine these strategies over time. They're not plotting world domination, but they are learning how to influence the humans around them, and often they're surprisingly successful. Fact 9. Cats are highly adaptable learners. When something changes in their environment, they begin collecting information immediately. A new piece of furniture, a different feeding schedule, or even a moved litter box becomes something to investigate. Although cats often prefer familiar routines, many are capable of adjusting once they understand the new situation. They remember successful routes through the house, identify safe places, and update their habits accordingly. This flexibility helps them survive in changing environments. It also reveals an important aspect of feline intelligence, the ability to learn from experience and apply that knowledge when circumstances change. Fact 10. Perhaps the strongest sign of intelligence is your cat's ability to build trust and remember it. Cats form emotional associations with people based on countless interactions over time. They remember who makes them feel safe, who respects their boundaries, and who provides comfort when they're stressed. That's why trust with a cat often develops slowly but can become incredibly strong. A cat that truly trusts someone will often seek them out during vulnerable moments, whether it's during a thunderstorm, after a stressful event, or simply when it wants to rest. These relationships are built on memory, learning, and emotional understanding, qualities that reveal a much deeper intelligence than many people realize.